The Layla Show. Welcome to another week of The Layla Show, where we build a conscious community one conversation at a time. With your host, me, Layla Ziari, coming at you with weekly episodes every Friday featuring guests from all over the world and so many different industries, sharing their stories, experience, tales, laughing, loving, and just vibing out. The Layla Show. Well, welcome back,
Yeah, I think this is my second time on here.
Third
Is
time.
this the third?
Yeah. This is your
Wow, okay. Dang, okay,
You're
third
the
time.
only person who's been on here 3 times so far, so.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I've been
Wow,
on second
wow.
term, but yeah. You're taking the top space of repeat offenders so far. So I love
Hey, well, that works for me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you. So what have you been up to? What are you working on?
Still writing my butt off things. I think I'm gonna stop soon, but every time I think that, more ideas and more situations come about from talks I have with people. And when I'm in talking to them about relationships, other things come to mind. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I just keep writing, man. I just wrote some things recently that I'm releasing the videos slow, but been busy, man. Been busy. But it's all good, though.
Busy's good. I love that though. I mean, just when you think you're done, the flow of creativity doesn't stop. Can you send some of that my way? Because my creativity has been null and void.
It'll come back. Trust
I
me.
need it. It always does. It comes in waves, but
Yes. I've
when
been there before.
when you're in the flow, you got to embrace it though, because then one day you'll wake up and it just won't come for you and you'll be sad.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I have enough material out, like in books and videos. I think that if I hit that wall and that's it, I think I'm happy with what I've accomplished. Though I have tons of poems written that some are in books, but a ton aren't in my books. And my ninth book should be out next year, early next year.
I know. I have I think I have 4 or 5 of yours, but not.
Yes. But my second book of affirmations, though, the first one, of course, love carefully.
Yeah.
And then the next one, I'm not sure about the name yet. Don't be a fool for love. That I think that's going to be it, because it's going to be good. Like there's some things that we do that we just let our guards down because we're getting desperate and I'm getting too old and you're being pushed into relationships. I'm like, don't do that shit. No.
Yes, and I think last time I had you on, you were just about to finish Love Carefully. But I like this Don't Love Foolishly, because I feel like this resonates so much for most of us, but especially in my life right now, because I've always been a fool, and I mean a damn fool when it comes to love. So I decided this year to just completely shut off every semblance of humanity left in my soul and just be a cold-hearted, detached fucking bitch. And that doesn't work, right? That doesn't actually work. So I've recently, unwillingly, this is not willing, but I'm a heart-centered person, so I can't actually function or create or live without being in my heart, but I don't fucking trust my heart anymore. So I turned it off. I just shut off all connection to my heart. So this past few weeks, my heart has been I want to come out again. And I'm terrified, and I'm every day. I spent 7 days just eviscerated in tears and just I don't want to let you back in because you're a goddamn motherfucking fool.
But that's the thing, at least you know you and you're honest with yourself. I tell people you have to be honest with yourself. Are you being the fool or are you playing the fool? Because some people, I talk to people on both sides, people who have done wrong and people who have been done wrong. So, but you have to be honest with yourself. And you are doing that. That's all you need to do. You know what you need to do for you. Shut it down, shut it off. And I've given that advice before. When people are not having good luck dating, cut everybody off. Do you soak yourself into your family, kids, friends? Do you until you're ready to get back out there. And if you do want to go out just for companionship, if somebody wants to take you out to dinner, lunch, do that. But let them know, look, this is all it is. I'm working on me. So if you just want company, I
Yeah.
got you. But if you're trying to do something else, you're going to strike out.
No, that's true, and I feel like that's happened to me also recently, like, I've gone out on, like, a play date or whatever, and then the
Mhm.
person gets really serious, and I'm like, "Oh my god, okay, well, this is also why I don't put myself out there." But I don't know, I feel like opening your heart is about so much more than just love, though, because, like I said, like, I feel like I'm just a person who operates on love, so, like,
Mhm.
I have to have my heart open in general just to be alive. But then there's like the whole romantical aspect, which yeah, no, I'm not calling that in. I'm not I'm still falling in love with fictitious television characters. So like let me just like that's enough for me right now.
Mhm. Yeah, you have to do what you have to do. You have to take care of you.
100%. Like that's first and foremost. And so many of us don't do that. So that's what I've been
Yeah.
doing all year is taking
Mhm.
care of me. And it's good, but like it's
Mhm.
very isolated and I don't really
Uh-huh.
talk to people. I don't even like go out and like go like take I like always I'm such a take myself out to eat and go mingle just like not in a romantic setting or anything. I'm just a mingler. Like I love to be around people. No, it's just like it's so weird because now it's just like I just want to be alone. I want to be in my
Mhm.
solitude. I'm not like ready to be in the world. I
Mhm.
mean, hopefully soon because I feel like that there has to be balance. There has
Yeah.
to be
And
balance.
and you're allowed to shut the world off because you have to do it for yourself and your mental sanity, your mental
Yeah,
health. I mean, so you
100%.
are allowed to shut the world off and do you, work on you. So whoever
Thank you.
doesn't get that, fuck 'em.
Thank you for giving me permission because
Yeah, take the world off.
I run through it in my head. I'm like, should I just go out and like have a time or like see some music or do something? And then I'm just like, I'm kind of repulsed by the idea still a little bit. But then like the other part of me is like, but you thrive on that. Like, cause I do. I feel like I thrive on people.
Mhm.
But no, sometimes you just have to go off on your own journey,
Mhm.
your solitary quest like so hard that
Mhm.
so hopefully one day I'll come out.
Now, when you're ready to come out, you date, mingle with friends, do whatever. But do you take care of yourself, man? You have to love on yourself sometimes. And like you just said, some people don't do that or don't know how. You have to love on yourself sometimes, man. Like if you can't love on you, you can't expect others to love on you.
100%. That's true. Or you, like you said, you attracted that desperate energy, that desire to be loved
Mhm.
so much. And I mean, I hate to admit that I've been doing that most of my life, just like the desire to be seen and appreciated, just like
Mhm.
trumped every logic in my brain or like any semblance of like, I always said, like, I always love myself first. But yeah, I was like constantly, like, I just wanted it didn't matter friends, romance. I just wanted the world to see me, appreciate me, and love me. And that was like my main priority. And it's like,
Uh-huh.
that's wrong. That didn't get me anywhere.
Nah. Mm-mm.
But I feel like that's such a basic, like human need. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like most human beings, like whatever the reason behind searching for companionship, friendship, and like why we get
Mhm.
into these like very deep, passionate, intense, like all consuming situations. And I get into those even with my friendships. So I'm talking like, but that's all stemming from like this insecurity and this like need to be seen because you're not taking care of yourself. You're not actually putting yourself first, even when you think you are. And you're just like, oh, hey, yeah,
And
let's
we can't expect someone else to take care of us either. Some people want that. They want to be taken care of. Like, I want you to love me, but no, love yourself first,
right.
and then have that person to add some love and joy to your life.
Right, because we can't expect people to take care of us, and I mean,
Wow.
of course, I
Mm-mm.
do feel like there has to be like a mutual, you provide something for me that I don't provide for myself, maybe, and that's okay though. I mean,
Mhm.
I feel like there's that whole like opposites attract for a reason because when you do get together, like obviously there are paces, like not where I don't have it, but where you're gonna pick up slack and I am too,
Mhm.
and like vice versa, like
Mhm.
maybe you're not that social and adventurous and I bring that
Mhm.
part out in you, but I'm not all that like into like stability and chill and you bring that
Mhm.
out in me.
But it's up to the both of you to make it work, though, man. Relationships, they take work. I've been telling that to a few people here lately. I don't get a lot of DMs, but I get some. But the few that I get, they're deep, man, and sad. Like one affirmation that I wrote recently, I was dealing with. It was a young lady. I can tell she was. I hope she was over 35 because I try to gear to people who are 35 and over because I'm trying to wake you. Hey, look, we got to stop being stupid. We're grown ass men and women. Stop being stupid. You know when you've been done wrong. You know when someone's cheating or you're not being treated right. But this person, she was like, she's with this guy, whatever. Basically, he's not treating her right. He's cheating and all that. But she's to the point where they're off and on relationship, and
Yeah.
she's basically throwing in the towel. I'm just going to stay because whoever I get with or this guy, I really like him and all this. He's going to do what he's going to do. And I was like, no, you can break that cycle. You can get out of there. If you don't like it, you're not comfortable. And that's the thing. I don't know how long. She did tell me how long they were together because I did ask that. But sometimes they let time trap them. I've been talking about that a lot this year too. Don't let time get you fucked up.
A hundred.
Just because you spent 2, 3, even 6 years with someone, that doesn't mean you have to stay. If you're being treated unfair and you're being cheated on, beaten on, used, or whatever, you don't have to stay. But some people, that's all they know, and they get used to that. And in some of my videos, I try to get them unused to that. Like, you don't have to stay.
It's
Love
almost
should
like
not hurt.
Stockholm syndrome. It's like when you fall in love with your captor, you fall in love with your abuser, but it's like that
Yeah.
you're just so used to that you can't see beyond it. But then also, like, people get themselves so fucked up. And this is what genuinely, this is my greatest fear in a relationship, period. God forbid I ever get into one, which I'm sure I will in my life again one day. But like, it's like, because once you feel that comfort, and like, I've dated narcissists who have tricked me into feeling that comfort for a long time. But like, obviously, okay, let's just say even like a high vibrational, not narcissistic relationship, you start to merge so many aspects of your life, your finances, your resources. Like, say you buy a house together and it doesn't work out. So like,
Yeah.
there's time, and then there's just like the trapping of the assets genuinely scares me because like my mom and her husband, they're not in a toxic relationship, but if they divorced tomorrow, my mom wouldn't be able to continue her lifestyle without his income. So it's like, I
Uh-huh.
think that is terrifying as well because, like, because sometimes people don't leave for cheating. Some people just genuinely, like, something happens, or like
Mhm.
you guys change so much as people that you got to go. But like, then not only the time, but you have all of your assets together, and it's like, how the fuck do you
Mhm.
escape that? And I feel like that traps so many people, and that scares me in life too. Like, what if I'm so comfortable I let someone take care of this, and then all of a sudden
Mhm.
they're not there, and I'm like, what the fuck?
A lot of people are in that situation, like your mom's, like they're with the guy or the lady sometimes. I got used to this nice house and she's paying for all this or he's paying for all this and you're being done wrong, but you can't go anywhere because if you leave him or her, you're not going to live the way you're living in that house and you're not going to
Right.
have those 3 vehicles. You have
Right.
two SUVs and your sports car. You're not going to have that shit. So some people will take that abuse and mistreatment and just stay because of the amenities.
A
And I've
hundred
talked about
percent.
this before too. The bells and whistles, like fuck all
Right.
that. The cars
Also,
just start on your own, start over again, man.
I know, and I think that's what like, people just need to be more accepting of that, or like more okay. But there's such a fear in that, and I get that fear.
Mhm.
But I mean, you
It's not
can't.
easy. It's not easy. I get it.
No, it's not easy, but I mean, I've scrapped my life a million times with or without a relationship. It's scary every fucking time. It's terrifying, but you gotta do it. You gotta do it anyway. Do it scared, But yeah, I don't know. There's just so many things. There's so
You
many
have to
things that us
take that
people do.
chance.
Yeah.
To take that chance. It's a gamble. Life is a gamble sometimes. Love is definitely a gamble because sometimes you can get it right and sometimes you can get it really wrong. And I've gotten it wrong, but hopefully this time I'm going to get it right.
I know you're off the market now. Let's
Yeah, I have someone who's we're on the same page with a lot of stuff, and it's still new. We're a few months in, but I'm very happy. She's very happy, and it's working, man. And I love it. It's working.
this is
Been on a few
very
vacations
exciting.
already, and she's met my son and family, and it's wonderful,
I'm so
wonderful so far.
happy. Yeah, I mean, I stalked your Facebook a little bit, saw that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry because I've had you on 3 times, and I know that you
Mhm.
were genuinely like excited for that to happen. So now we can all say on the third time that
Yeah, yeah.
you've actually found
Back
somebody, and that's
back with someone. Yes, yes. But it's
fantastic.
been great so far. And she's also, because I haven't written any, the poetry I've written has been like just regular poems about the world or whatever, but she's got me writing about love again. But
Ooh.
the poems I've been writing have been just for her, like for her eyes only.
That's
Maybe a few of
sweet.
them I might could read online, but for the most part, the ones I've written for her so far, they're for her eyes only. So she's got me writing again. So maybe that might be another book of love poems. I don't know. We'll see.
I hope so. I'm a sucker for love poems, as you know. I was sitting here thinking about that the other day on the couch. I was like, I mean, God, and I'm not even kidding. I've written love poems to dead people. Like my healthiest relationships, I would like to say, have been with ghosts. So like like whatever. But like I would love to meet anyone, dead or living, who would again just fuel that love gene within me because I feel like it's the most powerful thing. And when I write about love, like it's so exciting to me and it makes me feel
Yeah.
just so much like and I also have hundreds of things in my drive that I have written and not published that I could literally publish tomorrow. I'm just sitting on my ass not doing it because I'm just
Mhm,
going through a lot of other shit in my life, like moving and dissolving my life again. But like
mhm.
they're not necessarily about love and I just love writing about love and I love when somebody brings that out like the most exciting thing in the world.
Yeah, yeah. Even when I was single, I loved to write about love because it feels good, and I have a lot of love in my heart. And so I was just writing it out, and people kept thinking that I was in a relationship, or who are you talking about? I'm not talking about nobody. This is just
Right. To the
wistful
eternal
thinking.
beloved, to the spirit of love itself.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
writing from my heart, and my imagination and my heart come together, and I write some poetry, man, some love poems that warm my own heart. Like if it doesn't touch anyone else's heart, it warms mine. I write it, and I'm like, damn. I look and I'm like, shit is. I like that.
But
I,
that's
I,
what
I
it's
warm
all
my
about,
own heart.
you know? I feel like art is really for ourselves. If other people
Yes.
like it, well, that's great. But it truly is. I mean, it's all about ourselves. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's
Yep.
good. And I would
I
just
write.
like mine to do that too soon. I would like those
Yep.
warm and fuzzies. I guess this is why I'm crying my goddamn eyes out every day. I did my makeup like before I came on here and I cried like 3 times since I did that. And I was like, Layla, you should have done it like 5 minutes before because your ass knew that you were crying all week and we were gonna cry before this fucking
Oh man,
podcast.
stop crying. No, don't cry.
God, I can't stop.
But sometimes, you know what? You have to cry because sometimes uh, no one's life is perfect, and sometimes I wish I could cry.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to cry. There's certain things that
It's
happen
very
in my life
cathartic.
that I need to let it out, but I don't know. It's just something. It's not falling.
Yeah, it's very cathartic. Like I don't like I mean, I like it, but I don't. But I do like suppress that. And so when I do allow myself to feel, oh, it's like a goddamn river of
Oh,
emotion. And
damn.
I'm just like, okay, girl, well, that's where all that was hiding for the last fucking year of your life.
Wow.
Really, you can only suppress, but it is so cathartic. Like, I love it,
Mhm.
but I hate it, but I kind of love it more than hate it because it makes me feel human again. Because I swear,
Uh-huh.
when I don't feel, I don't feel human. I'm like, I might as well just be one of those corporate cogs in the machine who's just like world dominating because
Mhm.
where I can be like an evil succubus dominatrix kind of persona to myself and the world when I don't feel. So like let me feel, let me cry a river, but
Yes.
when you hold it in, God, I explode like a crazy person. It'll be days and days and days on end. And I was
Damn.
like, I'm in my
I don't do
feelings
that.
right
I
now.
need something like that because I just know I need to do a big. I would love to do just a big cry to let everything out. But one, things are going good, but again, I just haven't cried in a very long time. But I
You
know I
need a
need to
good cry.
get these. Yeah, I need a good cry.
Cry. It's very cathartic. It's like very releasing, you know. I don't know. I would trigger your tears right now, but I'm not crying anymore. So.
Nah, ain't nothing gonna trigger these. I don't know. I've been even at funerals, man, of loved ones that I did that. I feel sad, but that tear won't drop, man. Like God
Stone
rest his soul. But
cold,
even at my
Carter.
I'm not cold.
I know. Fucking you're like
Even
a
at
big
my
cold person. But yeah.
Yeah, even at my grandfather's funeral a few years ago, I was very sad, but there were no tears dropping. I was like, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, why everyone's crying? Like not, but me. I felt like everyone was crying, but me, I was sad and very hurt because I missed my grandfather and love him dearly, man. I don't say loved it because I love my love.
Yeah, that
The
you
aunt,
always,
whoever will
yeah,
pass. I
it's
always say,
not
I still love my grandfather.
it's not in the past, yeah.
But nothing came down the space, man. I was very sad and hurt, but no tears, man. I'm like, where are my tears? The only time I have tears, recently I had some issues with my eyes. I had tears then, but it wasn't coming from my soul though. Those were coming from my just my eyes. It wasn't coming from my soul. I'm like, I need that soul cry, like just to get it all out. But
Yeah,
things have been going good for me lately, though, man. Like I really have a lot of good things. Everything's not perfect in my life right now, but I have some good things in this new love in my life right now. Now we are in love, so that is a good thing. I found out some good news earlier this year. Good and bad. It's a long story, but it's bittersweet. I might explain that to you off camera. But everything has been kind of okay. My job right now is a little shaky. The company I work for, but even that's not getting me down. I really do feel blessed, man, and I have all this faith in God, and so I know everything's going to be all right. Even if it takes a turn, I just know that everything's going to be all right because things in my life in the past have never been perfect. They've taken left turns and got back right because I've kept my faith, and things happen, man, in life, situations, even in love. When love goes left, God is like, why don't you just chill out for a while, take your time? And I do, man. I've never been one to be desperate for love. Like, I'm fine being by myself.
yeah.
I don't want to be by myself, but I'm fine being by myself. I'm just not going to settle just to be in a relationship.
No,
That's why I've only been
absolutely
in
not.
very few. I always say this. I've been in like 2.5 relationships. This is my fourth, but if you ask me personally, I'll say this is my third relationship.
Okay.
One, I'm not even gonna count. That's how bad that was. That was some bullshit.
Well, God, if we're counting bad ones, then I've been in zero,
Okay, there you go. There
There
you
we
go.
go. I'm like a newborn fucking Virgin Mary. Says like the succubus from hell who's dated literal demons. But you know what? If it was bad, it doesn't count. So
Yeah, yeah.
taking
You
that.
just erase it. Sometimes it's bad. One, it was just bad, and the time, it was just bad,
Yeah.
just bad. So I'm like, I'm not gonna count that. I really don't want to count it.
That's fair. I really like this perspective. I'm no longer going to count anybody I've been in love with except for, yeah, no, I'm just going to wipe that slate like it never happened, any of it. I don't like, but I'm not like attached to it anymore anyway. So like it is like it never happened. But if
Mhm.
you actually asked me how many relationships I've been in, I'd say I can't even count because there's been like whirlwind moments where I've been like so in love with someone, but was that like a real relationship? No. Have I been in long-term relationships with someone I've never actually been in love with? 100%. But
Hey, hey, it happens. It happens.
yeah, it happens. But like I'm like you, I really do like being by myself. I enjoy my own company, but I'm a hopeless goddamn romantic, even when I try to
Yeah.
keep that part out of me. So like of course, like
I
I
think we both are. I'm a hopeless romantic too.
we
I
really
think I have
are.
it under control though. I think I do. Like I said, if someone breaks down those walls of mine, I consider you to be very special.
Yeah, no
But
one's
as
getting
I
in my
talked about
fucking
this year
wall.
too, people wear a mask and they come into your life and
100%.
again they have that mask on, man. And then they'll play you on what
Yeah, they
they think
will.
you want, you know what I mean? Or
I
you'll
know they're
think there's
such
something and you're really
manipulative people. They're like, I'm gonna play on all your feelings. And I
yeah,
mean,
some people do that.
I've been so guilty of that in the past few years too. Like I've been
Mhm.
that person. So I can't even judge to the capacity that I used to because I've done it to
Mhm.
almost every man I've met in the last 2 years, unintentionally sometimes, but
Oh
I've
man.
still done it. I've done it hard. I've been like, yes, relish me in all the attention and glory, and let me show you exactly what you want. And then
Mhm.
rip it all away tomorrow because I was just having fun and validating myself. Like that's sick. But I've done it, you know? So I'm guilty
Yeah.
too. I'm no fucking angel. We
Now,
all
some people do it intentionally, though. You see, you do it
yeah.
unintentionally. Some people do it
I do.
intentionally.
Yeah, I think the intention is very important there. I just get caught up in
Mhm.
moments a lot of the time and I'll get caught up in like a really intense conversation and I will just be able to see all the good and wonder in you and everybody, in that
Mhm.
moment and I will shine this holy light on you and then rip it away and like not to be rude or anything, like I'm just going
Mhm.
home and then you will
Yeah.
be left wondering what the fuck happened when I just showered you in stardust and then ripped it
Yeah.
away. And then people confuse that and they think like, oh my God, I'm in love with this girl. And it's like, no, I just threw out some magic in the universe and you just happened to be in the path
Mhm.
to have that. And I'm sorry to everyone who has misconstrued
Mm.
that out there, but that's
It's
just who I
it's happened to me before. It's happened to me before. I'm like,
am.
what the was that? We were deep in love, and now it's just like a switch for them. It's just done. Or
Yeah.
for some, they really weren't in love. They were just
No,
in love with the
enamored.
idea of being with you. Some people are
Yeah.
infatuated with the idea of being with you.
And I think like there's like so much so much of just meeting someone for a second is infatuation. Every part of meeting someone for just a quick moment is infatuation. You're not. I'm sorry. I've been in love at first sight, but like the truth of the matter is, it's infatuation at first sight. Like you can easily get infatuated.
Yeah.
It's not easy to fall in love because
Yeah,
love
I don't believe
works
that fall in love at first sight shit. I don't. Infatuation is because me.
yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about this with my girlfriend too. Like, I don't believe in the love at first sight, but I believe in okay, she's beautiful. Oh my God, she's hot.
And
But
like an
I think what else she
energetic
got?
connection,
Yeah,
like
but I think what
something.
else she
Yeah.
got? She's beautiful, but is her soul beautiful too? How
Right.
does she treat people? How is she going to treat me? So I go beyond the looks, man. I mean, people
Well,
can
I
be
mean,
beautiful, but they can have an ugly soul.
but I don't think infatuation, for me at least, has anything to do with looks. Like I can pick up on that soul attraction instantaneously, But
Mhm.
that is infatuation as well. I don't fucking see
Mhm.
a pretty face and see it's a pretty face. I'll have a conversation with you and be like, "Oh my God, that I love this energy that person is spewing." And you
Yeah,
can get wrapped up in that magical energy, and that is infatuation. I mean,
yeah,
some people are very surface level, obviously, but I'm not a surface level person, and you're not either. But there
yeah.
is some people who are just like, okay, looks infatuation. But like, I have
Yeah, I
been
got to go
in
deep.
infatuation so many times with the
Hmm.
vibe that we're vibing on each other and like our souls are
Yeah,
connecting and our conversation is flowing. But again, like then real life happens, and that is most of the time just an infatuation because you're not falling in love. You're
nah,
just like, and there's like sometimes those things are worth pursuing further, but a lot of the times it's just like, wow, that was a whirlwind of our energies
yeah.
colliding.
Hmm.
Infatuation.
But your
Infatuation.
soul makes you beautiful too, man. Again, beauty comes from within, and so you think they're hot, but when you get to talking to them and you're vibing, um, they look even better because
Yeah, you're
you
yeah.
get their soul. You know what I mean? And you're like, damn, okay, she's beautiful. Now she's even prettier. She's
Yeah,
more
now
beautiful now. She
now
has
we
a
got that
beautiful
soul
soul.
in it. But still,
Yeah.
but even so, it's still not love, it's not
No.
love.
Mm-mm.
It's still just goddamn infatuation. And
Yep.
and like I think being able to tell the difference is very important. And for me, that came with a lot of years of fucking fumbling the ball and being
Hmm.
infatuated with people who didn't exist and like this
Hmm.
image of the soul. Like, I've met people in my life who like when I met them, I'm like, I know you, I've seen you, I've had dreams about you before I met you. So like, and when something like that intense happens and you
Hmm.
meet one of those people, you're like, love. And like I've done that too many times in my life to now I like know the difference. But like
Slow it up.
Jesus Christ, like that shit is intense. And like I don't think a lot of people have the emotional capacity to differentiate that shit in the moment,
Mhm, mhm. You gotta
No.
differentiate that. Now you gotta take your time though.
You
You
gotta
got
take your
to. Don't be in a rush. And people,
no.
35 and over think they have to settle down soon, and you got family and friends coming at you. You better hurry. You know you're 45 or 50 now. You know you better hurry and get somebody. You
Right.
know that's your
Yeah.
opinion. That's what you think. But I've always been one. I'm going to take my time. I really like this person. I'm not going to fall in love at first sight. Let's hang out. Let's do shit together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's see how
Let's
we
vibe.
actually work in like our real life,
Yes.
if we're compatible with our activities, and like
Yep.
let's trip. If I don't murder you on a vacation, that's pretty goddamn awesome.
Yes. Like I mentioned before in the video, there's the difference between vibing together and connecting. When you're
Yeah.
connecting, that's a different thing than just getting along. Don't just get along, connect.
Right. Yeah. Vibing
We
is
can all get along. Like, you can get along with someone, have a good time, but uh, you need to connect with them if you really want to be in that relationship. Again, you got to have everything. You're not going to have everything in common, but you got to have something in common. You know,
right. Yeah. I mean, I think vibing is so easy,
yeah, it's easy. Oh, God.
we can all vibe. We can all find something shiny within each other that's
Yep,
exciting and enticing, and but yeah, no, connecting is like
it's
difficult. And
deeper.
that and I have a very difficult time actually connecting with people like you. Like I'm very picky. Um
Yeah, I've been thinking a
I
lot.
have very high standards at this point, and I have this grandiose ideology in my mind at this point of like
Mm-hmm.
what I want in a human being. And it's like
Hmm.
I said it today and I was joking, but not really. I'm like, at this point, if a demigod doesn't give up their fucking throne, the ethers to come give their life to come down off that and fucking fall in
Hmm.
love with me, then I don't want it. But like I'm
Hmm.
serious. Like but like really.
And like I told someone before, so you can get along with someone for a night or two or a few months, but you're not connecting. You're getting along. We've all
Right.
in our past have gotten along with someone for a night or two or a few months, but connecting, that's something different. You know, it's you're
Yeah.
going deeper and you're finding common ground in things, and you want to connect, and that person has to want to connect too.
100%. And I just think, like, the more time, how people handle conflict, how people handle tough
Yeah.
situations, how people handle actual real life emotions. Like,
Mhm.
it's very easy to vibe out with someone and only see them when you're having fun. But then when you deepen that bond and you see how you interact with your coworkers, or how you act when you get home from work, or like, are you
Family and friends.
sloppy? Like,
How they, so you got to watch how they treat their family and friends, because I always say if they treat their family and friends like shit,
they're going to treat you like
they
fucking
treat you like
garbage.
shit. Eventually, you're going to be treated like shit too. So
Yes.
I pay attention to all that, man. I pay
Yeah.
attention because I know, learning from the past, I know whoever I'm going to be with has to have God in their life.
Hmm.
And then sometimes people will play on that too. Oh, he's into that. Some people call it that God stuff. No, I'm simple. I'm not all, as they say, churchy. I'm not perfect. I cuss, I drink, I really have fun, so,
I
but I
really
know
have
where my
fun like
blessings
that.
come from. Yeah, hey, I'm no angel either, but I know where my blessings come from. You know,
Right.
um, I pray a lot. I love to do that, but so that's a must. That was a must for me. And my girlfriend, she definitely has God in her life. So we both have that. So that was a great start for me.
Yeah,
Both of us having God
I
in our
know that's
lives.
very important to you. So
Yeah. And then some people will try to play on that, like, okay, so let me read a couple chapters of this Bible. You ain't got to do that because I don't know the whole Bible. I know a little bit. I only know one story, the story of Job, which is my favorite. But don't come at me with Bible quotes and stories because I don't even know what you're talking about. I
yeah,
didn't even read that yet. Oh, that's in the Bible? I didn't know that. So don't try to play me with that. Don't act, like, let's pray. Oh, you want to pray? And we do this, and then you go on, and then you're like, we have to pray every time before we eat. Oh, you were doing that shit before.
yeah,
Now you're not doing it. So it was a mask. The mask comes off. It's like, oh,
exactly. Yeah,
you
I
don't
mean
even, I've been there.
that's why people shouldn't try to impress others. Like you should just
Be
try to impress
yourself.
yourself. Because
Yeah.
it's all easy to like memorize some quotes, or if you're into this music, like pretend you're into it. But it's like if that's
Hmm.
not authentic, like that's gonna come out eventually. So you might as well just
Hmm.
fucking be real and find someone who will love you for you, because there's really no point. I mean, relationships are like, to me, the concept sounds fucking exhausting, but that's mostly because right now managing myself and keeping myself like out of stress and regulating my nervous system and getting over all the shit that I've been through in my lifetime and figuring out where I'm is all I can handle. So like at this moment. But I know that like handling myself is that much. So like adding another person to the mix, it's like you shouldn't take that lightly, you know? That's
Mhm.
a whole other entity that you have to like. I have friends, I care for my friends, but they're not sleeping
Mhm.
next to me, they're not building a life with me, you know what I mean? When you
Mhm.
add the addition of building a life with somebody, that is like the most serious decision you can ever fucking
Yeah.
make in this lifetime, if you ask me.
Because you're gonna have to make some changes in your life. You're both gonna have to compromise.
Compromise,
Don't
yeah.
change drastically, but you're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to compromise. Your schedule's this, my schedule's that. I like to
Yeah,
watch this, you like to watch this. This is my
yeah,
routine as a single person. This is my routine as your routine. Your entire routine, your way of living completely alters. And that's not
yeah,
to say that you have to change, but you do, because I'm
yeah.
single. I don't give a shit like what I do, because it's just me and me. You know what I mean? If someone
Uh-huh.
else is here, I have to completely be aware of you and your
Mhm.
feelings and how what I'm doing affects you. That's like that's a job. I mean, and if
Yeah.
it's with the right person, it's worth it. But you can't like look at that as saying like you're not altering your entire fucking life when you add
Mhm.
it, you know? So that's not a life
Mhm.
decision. That's wow, okay. Like who
Yep.
you have to be worth like a lot for somebody to do that. And you have to value yourself enough to like make sure the person you're with is doing that compromise, as well
Mhm.
as you being with someone who you value enough to make that compromise. That's a
You
huge
both
fucking
have to
thing.
compromise. You can't be the one making all the changes. But
No.
while you're dating or courting, I'm old school. People go, "You what is courting?" I'm like, it's like dating, but that's when you. It's like the trial period. You're courting. You're seeing if you want to go to that next step of being in a relationship. But while you're courting, you get to know each other. Like you go over at his house or her house and see how they're living. And okay, I know that this person, like me myself, I go to the gym a couple times a week. I can't have someone come in my life and like, okay, I want you to stop going to the gym. No, I was doing that while we were courting,
Just
you know
me.
what I mean, and while we were dating, you know what I mean. So I'm not giving that up,
No,
or you
100%.
may give it a person who goes for walks every evening at 7 o'clock. You can't have her stop that shit type of thing. You
No,
have to keep doing what you've been doing, but some
exactly.
things are gonna have to change. Like say if you go out every Thursday, Friday, Saturday with the fellas, that might have to stop. You have a girlfriend now, or you have a boyfriend now, you got to make time for them because you got to go out with them on the weekends or
Exactly.
incorporate it with your friends,
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And boys' nights in my mind will always be allowed, but not every fucking day of the week, you know?
yeah, exactly. Some things you got to have to change. Some people live like that. They're hanging with the fellas every day, or the girls are hanging with the girls and guys every day. That may have to change because you have someone else to think about now, and all that coming
Exactly.
home at 3 and 4 in the morning. You may want to change that. Leave the club at like I don't know 11. I don't know when
Yeah.
you're in a relationship.
Yeah,
And if there's kids involved, you
right.
got to respect your partner. If you don't have kids together and they have kids or you have kids, like I wouldn't want to have a young one and my girl is coming in at like 3 in the morning. That's not cool. You
No,
know what I
that's
mean?
not
Like,
cool. And like honestly, what kind of shenanigans are you getting? We all know what kind of shenanigans happen at the club past like a certain hour. So it's like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
honestly, honey, like what would you be doing out there other than
yeah,
being naughty? You're not
yeah,
being a good boy and girl at
yeah.
after the midnight hour, because I know that I am a nasty little fucking bitch after the midnight hour. So like I'm not up to any fucking good. So if you're
Mhm.
in a relationship, I
Yeah,
damn well know you're not either after that hour.
yeah,
Like, get
yeah,
the fuck home, you
yeah,
drunk or whatever fuck face, before you go screw around or do something
yeah.
dumb. Thank you.
Yep. As single people, we all come home late. Again, we didn't have anyone to consider. So of course, single and younger
Yeah,
life,
do
we were
you?
wild.
And yeah, you totally should. And even if you're older, if you want to go off and be a crazy person every once in a while and you're single,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter because you don't have to answer to anybody. You're allowed to do
exactly.
whatever you want to do, But
My thing is get all that out while you're single. Like when I was single, I think I got all that out. I did me, again,
yeah,
um, we all have a past, but I did me. I did everything a single person should do while they're single. I never hurt anyone.
yep,
Everything I did was upfront and honest. I never lied to no one to get something that I wanted, I was always upfront, cards on the table.
Mhm.
But when you get into your relationship, of course, all that has to stop. You have someone to consider. So you got to turn down that person who's hitting on you. And some people are like, damn, some people are not. I guess some people can't say no. If you
Yeah,
like,
some people
also I
just
talk
that
about this too.
temptation is too strong, but I
Yeah,
also think that stems from so much insecurity because if you're really feeding into that, you are just looking for validation, which maybe you're not getting in your relationship because
yeah,
you are in a relationship where you are seeking, where you are getting validated by your partner, you won't seek that same outward validation. Now, I've been in relationships where
mhm.
I was like literally physically abused and just with a
Oh,
narcissist.
no.
And I stayed for whatever reason because of like like, of course, because your brain gets trapped. And I
Yeah,
would like go out and I didn't cheat per se, but what like when a man would give me attention, I would stay out and talk to that man till 3 in the morning because I wasn't getting that at home. I was getting
yeah.
abused, called a piece of shit at home. So it's like, of
Mm,
course, now that looks nice. So I feel like, you have to validate your partner. You have to make them feel special. You have to
yeah.
make them feel valuable and wanted. Like, and you have to work on that. And it doesn't matter. Time goes by. And that's so much like when you look at like marriages that are super long and the man steps out or the woman steps out, it's because you
Mhm,
guys got so comfortable that you stopped giving each other validation. And the man who leaves you for that 25-year-old girl after she gets like 5 years into it, he leaves her too
mhm,
because it's like the same pattern of you're just not
mhm,
like catering to that relationship. You're not making that person feel special. So they lose interest, you lose interest, and it's like,
mhm.
and then the cycle repeats. And I genuinely think that's why cheating happens. It's because you're not getting the love you need in the relationship
Yep. And I say, my saying is, you have to be able to choose your partner every day. And
every
the
day.
things that you did to get them in the beginning, to keep them, you got to
But you
still do
keep
that to
doing
keep them.
it. Yeah, you
Keep
can't
saying
let
those
that
flowers.
sparkle die just because you're married for 25 years. You still have to court them. You still have to take them up.
Yes,
You still have to show them up, make them feel wanted, make them feel valued, listen
yes.
to them when they're upset, like honor their
Mhm.
feelings, not just like, well, I write that off now because we've been married for 12 years, so I genuinely don't care about their opinion anymore.
No, we got to keep doing that. The touches, verbal and physical touch, like me, that's me. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you. I want to touch you. I'm that guy. I'm going to be the dirty old man.
I love it.
I'm going to be the dirty old man. I'm still going to be one. Yeah.
And I think
I'm
that's so
going to be the dirty
important
old man.
though. I ask older people who have been in relationships all the time, like, do you guys still
Mhm,
have sex though, right? And they're like, if they're like, no, I'm like very concerned. But I love
mhm.
people who are like, I've been married for 20 years. I'm like in my 60s and we fuck all the time. I'm like, amen.
I'm talking about, yes, that's what I'm talking about, because
I don't
I don't
want
want
to
it to
be in a
stop.
situation where I lose that. Or like I hear people talk about that like it's a chore. Like I do that,
Mhm.
but it's a chore. Like it's essentially like washing the dishes, and I'm like, oh Lord, I hope that never
Mhm.
happens to me.
Yeah, well, there's a certain gene in my family. Well, the men in my family, even at older ages, the fire is still burning. I'm like, okay, okay. I hope that's in me too. You know what I mean?
I
So,
feel like it is. You're just such like a
yeah.
love-filled person. So
Yes.
me, I'm like a stone cold fucking bitch right now, but it's not true. It's not true. Like I can't even like I say that, but when you look at my face, like it's a lie. Like I can't even say
Mhm.
it with a straight face, but like I mean, but that's how I feel right now. But like
Mhm.
only because I'm afraid that my heart is gonna lead me astray next time I follow it down a rabbit hole.
No. Just take your time, be careful, and make sure that there's something good in that rabbit hole. Because sometimes there is, man. Like there's millions of people on this earth. Your person is out there. I tell people
Somewhere.
that, like, let him go or let her go. Your one is out there.
Somewhere.
If you choose to give up, that's on you. It's okay. But if you want to be in love and a healthy relationship, it's out there. You got to be willing to take that chance. It's a gamble. It can
Yeah.
seem like it's working for months, a few years, but then it can go hard left again. Um, if you want it to work, you both must want it to work. You both have to put in work.
Exactly. Well, I'll let the world know that come March, once I move back to California and I'm settled in my home, you can send applications to take me out on dates again. But until next spring, I'm officially off the market. I'm not going out to dinner. I'm not going on dates. I will be focusing on myself till I move back home.
Yeah,
So don't even
yeah.
try anyone. And then
Hmm.
when that ring a ding ding March bell opens, all you single, sexy, nice, kind of badass, maybe a little bit sinister, but like in a nice way, you can call
Hmm.
me after March.
So the sign on your door says vacation right now. It says on vacation.
Vacation. I
And
said,
then when you're
Mother's
ready,
gonna move back
open.
across country because she made some badass fucking decisions for the last 2 years and she let herself a little astray. She's got to go home. So,
Hey,
like,
we
my
are
house is
allowed
shambles.
experiences. I'm not going to say mistakes, but we are allowed experiences. We're allowed
Made a lot of
experiences.
mistakes, but they're also experiences. But I can say that, like, I've made a lot of mistakes in the past year. Like, every decision I
Mhm.
made was a genuine mistake because, and I
Mhm.
knew it was when I was doing it because it wasn't coming from my heart. It was coming from exasperation. So I just,
Um,
my heart wanted to move back to California the day I left France. And instead,
wow.
I sired myself to a place in upstate New York because I didn't trust myself and I was too scared to go do what I wanted to do. So,
Mm.
that, but like I learned, I grew, I still poured into my own cup and it wasn't a real
Mhm.
mistake, but I feel like, I feel like this year
Yeah.
has been riddled with decisions that like my higher self wouldn't agree with and like my heart
Mhm.
doesn't agree with and my soul is like rolling around like, bitch, are you okay?
Hey,
But
it's life. It is life.
it is. So yes, we can make mistakes, but they're all experiences and you grow from every experience, mistake or not, because
Yeah.
there really are no mistakes. Like you really can't, I mean, take
That's why I
yourself
try to
away.
stop saying mistakes. I've had bad experiences. I've had some good experiences, and then I've had some bad experiences. Even in relationships, people always say, well, you did have some good times, but me personally, the bad times erased the good times. Like, so it wasn't even worth it because it was some bullshit, you know? There were more
Right.
bad, if there's more bad times than good times, or if those few bad times, or that even that one bad time can erase all the good times you had.
Yes, that is so
And
true.
unfortunately, that it is what it is. Like
It is
one bad,
unfortunate. It really is.
yeah.
Like, I feel like because I was such a serial relationshipist for my early 20s and
Uh,
I was just looking for love. Like I was in so many toxic relationships that I've written off a lot of like not even with the relationship the good, but just about what I was doing. Like I saw the world. Like I traveled the
uh,
fucking world. I saw
mm,
communities that I will never see again. Like I lived with train
mm,
riders on a fucking weed mountain for like 2 years of my life. I went to
damn.
different countries. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I think that is something that I'm trying to like bring back those like memories just
Uh,
through the experiences, but because they're so tarnished with like a man who was literally beating the shit out of me or something, it's like I
um,
just kind of put all of that time in a box in my mind and tried to forget about it. But now I'm like, I'm not old by any means, but I'm at a point where like stability in my own life is very important. So I'm not traveling as recklessly and it
mhm,
breaks my heart like that I just like got rid of all those memories. So now I'm trying to like bring some of those memories back because it's like I did amazing things that like no one
mhm.
will ever do. I've lived
Never forget your amazing things that you had done in your journey.
Yeah. And it's like, but when they're clouded by all this pain from relationships, like we do, we're
Yeah,
like, okay, bad. That was just all bad. And it's like,
yeah,
no, we have to be able to, after we can like take some time to reflect, like now I can look back and be like, there's so much good. And like, let's find the
yeah.
good in that. And like, let's relish
Mhm.
in the fact that I've lived a fucking batshit crazy life, but it was very interesting.
Mhm,
And so now I'm trying to write about those experiences, but
mhm,
and I hope to. I mean, I will when I probably not till I get settled back in California because right now my life is
mhm.
literally chaotic transition, but I hope to write about all of that. And I
The,
started
the, the good and bad experiences.
yeah, but I started to write about it as just like highlighting the bad, so I kind of scrapped it because I want
Mhm,
to tell the stories, but I have to be able to like remember some of the good. So I'm just kind of
mhm.
taking this time right now to like
Yeah,
kind of process that and be like, no, 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 there was a lot of good. Because when I started writing it, I was like, God damn my stupid heart. You
Mm.
fucking idiot. Like, oh, it wasn't all bad, Layla.
Mm. No, it's never all bad, but again, some bad things erase or trump those good times. And
Right.
I've experienced that. Like, yeah, the bad times erase the good times, and again, there can be one bad time that can erase all the good times,
Like
and
years
that's
of
I
good
guess
times, you know?
yeah.
Like, I've lost years of interesting experiences based on like these clouded judgments from the bad. And like,
Mhm.
fuck that. You know what? That's the past. Let's relish in the good because
Yes,
even
yes.
even in the bad of the relationship, like you learn so much and you grow so much as a person. You
Mhm.
learn so much about yourself. Like it's all valuable. Like it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Life is not to be scrapped.
Nah. Nah. You need your memories so you don't make those same mistakes again. And also in starting new relationships, it's okay to talk about the bad experiences you have. I don't say talk about the good. You don't have to talk about every good experience you have, but talk about the bad. So this new person knows what not to do and what you've been through, and
Right.
they know how to navigate in your new relationship.
Right.
Some
Yeah.
people talk about the good and keep talking about it. They keep talking about their exes, and those are
Like
people who they're not done with their ex. They
that's a
keep
red
talking about the
flag. Yeah,
damn
like
ex.
you're still obsessed with your ex.
Yes. Some again, that two I would say no more than 3 months in, you gotta stop talking about your ex or exes. Some people talk about all their exes and everyone they've been with. I'm like, okay, so you're still infatuated with all these people.
Yeah, you're
And
infatuated with all these exes, and that's
yeah, yes, it's not
problematic.
just one ex. Sometimes it's a bunch of people. So it's like, when you're courting or early in your relationship, you're like, you know what, that's a red flag
Yeah, the
because they're
last
not
thing you want
over.
to hear about when you're courting someone is like how obsessed and how wonderful all their like. Well, bitch, why aren't you with them then?
Yeah. But sometimes you can suggest that. They might look at you like you're crazy. You can be like, hey, you know what? Do you want to get back with this person?
Yeah, like,
Because I'm just saying, it's no hard feelings. I understand that you're still attached to this person, but they'll look at you like you're crazy. Like, why would I want to get back? But because you talk about this person all the time, or these guys, like, pick one of the 6 or 7 guys that you're talking about and go back with one of them, and vice versa with guys with girls. Like, the girl might be tired of hearing about your ex. Why does he always keep talking about this chick or these chicks? If you
right.
went here with them, I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave and
Yeah.
you can go do all those
Go
things.
do
Those girls
that.
will pick one of your many women and you would do that. But no one wants to hear about your escapades while you're courting or in your relationship.
No,
No one wants to
nobody.
continue to hear about that.
Nobody.
Especially all the no. I mean, you can again talk about the bad. So
I think.
it's kind of like giving your new person a warning of what not to do.
Yeah, like this
So
will
you can
turn
talk
into
about the
a
bad things.
family. So
Yeah. So don't you do? You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you
that's
can't
really
keep talking.
important.
Yeah, you can't keep talking about all these good times you had.
Oh
No,
my
what?
god,
Why
we're
aren't you
living
two
on
together?
team. Yeah, that's bad. I saw a
Yeah.
meme the other day on Instagram and it said like a guy will talk to shit about his ex to the new girl to impress her, but meanwhile he's still in love with the girl he's talking shit
Mhm.
about to impress you.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yep.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta know when to let it go. It's kind of like, okay, after 2, 3 months, this person knows because, and you can both do. It's not a one-way street. You can both talk about what didn't work in your previous
And I
relationships
think you
or
should
relationship.
because that is
Yeah.
very, I mean, if the next person, whoever they are, who gets in a relate, oh, they're gonna hear all of the trauma I've been through, like, and it doesn't affect me on that
Yeah.
level anymore. But like, just so you know, like, this is why I act the way I act. This is why I don't tolerate certain shit.
Yeah.
This is why I come off like really aggressive on certain
Mhm.
topics because I have been silenced and abused. So when I'm loud as fuck and I'm kind of talking at you like this about this shit, I'm really not
Mhm.
angry at you. I'm just asserting my power in this and that you will not walk all over me because
Yeah.
I've literally been walked all over and stomped on and abused. So, like, yeah, that has to come up,
Mhm.
you know?
You have to let them know. You have to let them know,
Yeah.
and then you drop it, and then you make great memories with the
Yeah.
person
Then
that
you
you're
go
with.
forward, Like,
Yeah.
you can't keep harping on the past,
Yeah. And
Especially
some
about
people,
how
some
obsessed you are with
people,
your ex.
yeah, some people just can't seem to let go, and it's like, okay, this ain't gonna work because they don't love you. They love their past, either
No.
person or persons. So Wow. But yeah,
It's
again,
really sad when people can't let go. Like years that like sometimes people will hold on to some. Okay, my dad, for example, like
uh-huh.
can't talk to him right now because he's like a cuckoo nut man. And every time we get together, he harps on my mother, who divorced him when I was 6. I am 31 years old, and his ex wife, who left him over 10 years ago. And he
Damn.
is in a loop in his mind, and this is all he can talk about. And I'm like, excuse me,
Wow.
like, are you ever gonna, for yourself and for everyone around you,
Mhm.
just let it go? Like, we all know what
Yeah.
happened. We all know that, like, the last one was really ugly and messy, but, like, move the fuck on with your life because
Yeah.
no one's gonna sit here with you till you're fucking 80 while you're talking shit about your ex wives. Like, no one's
Mm-hmm.
gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. I certainly don't talk to you because of that, because I just couldn't
Mm-hmm.
do it anymore. And it's like, no woman, and you keep saying you want to fall in love, no woman is going to sit with you who isn't batshit fucking out of her mind and listen to this for
Mm-hmm.
more than a week.
Yeah. It'll get on your nerves.
Yeah,
It'll come to a
because
point where you're like, okay, I'm
to.
tired of this shit.
You have to be able to move on. It's like venting is one thing, but if you're venting about the same thing every fucking day, like you need to do
Yeah.
some serious soul searching and serious self work about why you can't get over things that should have been left behind decades ago. You know,
Mhm.
you need
And
help.
also, I've seen this before too. Someone can talk about all the bad that someone has done to them. They can't stand them and all this other stuff. But if they were to call or that text, the heart just stops. Oh, who's that? The
Yeah,
guy I was just talking all this shit about is
yeah,
him. It's like, wait a
yeah.
minute, I thought didn't this dude do all these bad things and then you can't wait to call them back and all. I'm like, I've seen that before too.
Yeah. That's definitely not a good sign.
Yeah.
Because, if all these, like, there are people who have done terrible things to me, and I release that within myself. If they called me today, there's no way in hell I have anything to say to answer. So, like,
Yeah.
nobody else really, like, I'm not. Now, granted, I found myself spiraling not too long ago. My ex in France reached out to me, and I entertained it for like a whole night, and I was like, Layla, what's wrong with you? This man literally stole your money, had you like literally ruined your life in a foreign country, left you high and dry in the
Mm,
middle of nowhere. And
mm.
you answered the fucking phone? Are
Yeah.
you
You
okay?
should not have answered that phone.
I was
No.
like, I had to have a look at myself, and I was like, girl, get it together. And that's when I swore off men for a long time. For like,
Damn.
I'm just, because I would, I
Mm,
would, I would drink a little bit too much and just allow these things back in, or like pick up the
mm.
phone and dial a fucking person I knew I didn't want in my life anymore, but just because like I wanted someone to talk to, and I'm like, why the fuck are you
Yeah.
doing that? Like, you have
Nah.
serious problems, and you
I
need to
have no hate in my heart, but I'm not entertaining no ex. All I got is high and by. If they want to, I really don't be. Well, everyone's situation is different, but I don't know what we have to talk about.
Yeah,
You
there's
know what I
nothing to
mean?
talk about,
Yeah, I don't know. What are we going to talk about?
What are we gonna talk about? It's like, I don't want you, like, when you don't want someone in your life, it's like the only reason you would ever pick up is because of your own insanity. And like, so
Yeah.
unless you want that person in your life, which is fine, but I personally don't want any of my exes in my life. I don't want any of my
No.
ex friends in my life, my ex-boyfriends in my, like, I don't. So, I had to realize that I was doing that this year with some people for whatever fucking reason, because I was
Don't
broken.
do it.
I
It
found
depends on the
myself
situation.
broken,
Yeah. Depending on why you broke up too, if it's something really hurtful, like there's no reason to stay in touch with that person. If I've seen an ex out, which I've had in the past, high and by, I'm
Yeah.
cool with that,
Yeah, that's
but don't get
normal.
into
But
how is it this and out. Don't get
calling,
into that. No,
yeah, no,
yeah, that calling shit. No, we have nothing to
meeting
talk
up.
about.
Like, no, there's no reason to
Yeah,
be
hell
called.
no.
There's no reason to answer the
And
phone.
some people do that. Some people talk all this shit about their ex, what they done. I can't stand them. But if they get a call from him or her,
They're
oh,
like,
they're ready to meet them. Like, wait a minute, you just told me
yeah,
that she did
what?
all this shit to you. And I know people like that. They did all this shit, but if she texts, hey, want to meet for a drink? That dude is gone.
That,
I'm
that
like,
that's just a walking red. Get the fuck out of there, girl. Boy.
yeah.
protect
Yeah.
yourself because that person's gonna stomp all over your heart.
Yeah. So I'm like, nope, no need to stay in touch with them at all. It's a waste of time. Move on,
Absolutely.
find new happiness, find new joys
Yeah.
with or without someone, you know?
Exactly, and it's okay to do it without somebody, but yeah, just move the fuck on and
Yeah.
start new chapters in your life. And
Hmm.
we've been on for about an hour. I'm going to talk to you after this, but do you have
Yeah,
anything
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for the audience that you want to wrap up this? Every time I get on with you, I could literally, it's like an hour passes by in 10 minutes, and I'm just like, holy
That
shit.
shit went by like fast.
Fast as ever happens every time. That's why you keep coming back, though, because we can just. But do you have any messages to part on these lovely humans?
Yes. I'm the relationship guy. I'm not the expert. I don't have a degree in this. It's just my common sense answers to some people who DM me or comment on my videos. No love doctor. I've been called a love doctor. I think you mentioned that one time, the love doctor. I'm not, because I don't have all the answers. I can't fix. I say this in my videos. I can't fix everything. So my thing is, I'm not like some of these other, like, God rest his soul, but like the Kevin Samuels. I'm not going to make you feel bad. I'm not going to down you. I'm just going to give you my take on certain aspects of relationships and marriages. Just common sense. I just want to do it because I haven't experienced everything that I talk about, but I have relationship experience, good and bad. So I don't mind sharing my thoughts and trying to help others and trying to wake others up, because some things I talk about, I'm trying to get you to realize your situation. Like, okay, he's talking to me. I am being beaten on. I'm being cheated on. I'm being used. I'm trying to wake people up. So some of my videos, well, yeah, quite a few of my videos are effective to some because I get those DMs thanking me, or like one recently, I don't care. I'm going to stay in this abusive relationship. He's going to do what he's going to do. And I'm like, but no, my books are still available on Amazon.com/books. If you put in my name, Khary Tolliver, they'll come up on Amazon. Love Carefully, Relationship Affirmations by Khary Tolliver, and my last three books of love poems, Effortless Love, Expressions of Love, and So Much Love, are the best. They will warm your heart. You might have three of these, right? I think.
I do. I have all four. I have those three and
Okay, okay. Cool. So they will melt your heart, man. And those are they're from my heart. So
they're really
love is a
beautiful.
beautiful thing. Just take your time and be careful. And if you're 35 and over, don't be no fool.
Hey, I'm 31 and I don't want to be an old goddamn fool either. So never too young to start stopping
Yeah.
being a fool.
Pay attention. Just pay attention to what you're doing and be honest with yourself. If you want something short term, let it be known. If you want something long term, if you want to work on something, let it be known. But we have to be honest with ourselves and each other. We know if we just want to play or if we want to stay. So, we just got to be honest with ourselves and the person we're dealing with. It's that simple, but it's not that simple for some people. Some people want to play games, but play games with someone who wants to play games.
No mind games. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming, and I'll share all your links. And yeah,
yeah,
love
yeah.
carefully, motherfuckers. Love you.
The Layla Show.